All right, everybody, welcome back to the #1 television program in the history of the entire universe. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Heart, and The Lonesome Crown, all three books published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Today I'm going to be doing a special sort of mid-month book haul. Usually my book hauls take place at the end of the month where I show you all the books that I bought during the month of whatever, like October or September. Well, this is going to be in the middle of the month because I bought a bunch of books in the middle of the month. So many that it would probably make my end of the month book haul look huge. But they are all Tolkien books, and we'll get into those in a second. I'm wearing my Tolkien t-shirt. I've got my Tolkien tattoo over here, which I've had for about 30 years now. And the only thing I've discovered about this tattoo is, you know how the One Ring used to turn Frodo invisible? All I've noticed is this tattoo has turned me into invisible to every woman I've ever been interested in. Anyway. Okay, now that I'm done with my sadness, let's get to the book haul. So here's the thing. Why did I buy all these Tolkien books? There's something on my shirt that won't go away. Okay, we're going to edit this part out. Okay. All right. Okay, so I got a bunch of Tolkien books here. I have a huge Tolkien collection. I collect all sorts of different versions of Lord of the Rings. And one of the things was, a couple years ago, I bought this version of Lord of the Rings, which is a boxed set, very lovely boxed set. I really liked these books because when you look at them, they've got these great covers by Alan Lee, just dope. And then they're filled with maps, and they're filled with all sorts of cool illustrations on the. If I can get to an illustration. Okay, so they're cooled with all sorts of cool inside illustrations. I was like, that's pretty cool. Very well. I mean, probably a $150 set of books that includes and they're heavy as hell. The Hobbit, Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, Return of the King, published by, I think it's it's Random House. No, HarperCollins. All published by HarperCollins. Wonderful set of books. Well worth the extra money to get them. They look just dope on the shelf. And then recently I saw that they did these matching sets that will match these books for all of the extra Tolkien stuff that's out there. All the Tolkien appendices and all the Tolkien different extra tales of Tolkien and all these different things. We'll go through them one by one as I pull them out. And I was like, oh my gosh, they've done this for all of these books. I'm going to get them. And they all come in similar cool looking boxed sets with the artwork by Alan Lee and John Howe, who are the artists that did they did most of the art direction and artwork for the Tolkien movies by Peter Jackson. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to get these. And look how good they look on the shelf. They all look like they match. They all look, I'll get a close-up of these. Everything matches up really cool. So it looks like this magnificent set. And it really does look super cool on the shelf. These were also about $150 each. I was hesitant to get them. But then, because I saw them in the Barnes & Noble, and this is me choosing Amazon over Barnes & Noble. So I saw them in the Barnes & Noble for $125, $150 a set. And there's 4 sets, and we'll go through all 4 sets in a second. So that would have been like a lot of money. So I went to Amazon, like, well, maybe Amazon has them cheaper. Amazon was selling them for $46 a set. Like 75% off. So, of course, I chose Amazon. But that's just the story. So let's go through these. I'm going to talk about things that I love about this set and some things that I was disappointed once I got the set. So remember how I showed you all the cool extra features in these books? I thought we were going to get cool extra features in these books too. So this is the first set. I don't know what order they go in, which is another one of my beefs with this. They should have put because these are all of the things like Book of Lost Tales, the Unfinished Tales, the Lost Road, the War of the Shadow, the War of the Ring. That's what some of these books are called, and they're kind of like the appendices expanded upon. All of Tolkien's notes, different things like that. But I kind of would have liked to have known what order they were published in, or what order to put them on the shelf. And so one of the disappointing things is you'd have no idea. Those are the spines. There's nothing on or in the book to tell you what order they're supposed to go in. So that was my first kind of disappointment. But the artwork on the covers is cool. So we'll pull these out one at a time, and I'll show them to you. So we'll show you the box first. So the first box has all of this cool artwork on it. It's got that kind of stuff going. That kind of well, that's just the. It's got a barcode. So the first book out is in the series is called Tolkien the Silmarillion. Of course, we know about that. You can't really tell that. Oh, there it is. Maybe you can see it. The Silmarillion. I've got about 10 different versions of the Silmarillion. So this is cool that they included that in there. Now I was thinking, remember how I showed you all the artwork in these? Now these are also published by HarperCollins. These are published by HarperCollins too. So I thought there would be a lot of cool illustrations in the book. But guess what? There isn't jack shit in any of them. It's just the covers. That's all you get. There's no extra artwork. There's no nothing. In fact, they feel cheaper made than the original ones. So I was a little disappointed with that. But the cover's cool. So that's the first book out of the box. The second book is called Unfinished Tales of Numenor and Middle-earth. It's got a cool cover too. So it looks dope. Then the third book out of the box. Oh, this one's got a really dynamite cover. The Book of Lost Tales, Part 1. Now, I already have some copies of these little paperback copies of the Book of Lost Tales, but that's a cool looking wraparound illustration. But keep in mind, there's no inside illustrations in any of these. So that's an epic fail for the price they're charging. The Book of Tales, Lost Part 2. Another great illustration that wraps around. So we'll put these back in the box, and then we will go to the next series of books. So we'll put those right there. I think that's the order they go in. This box has 3 books in it. It got a nice wraparound artwork on the box itself. Pretty dope. Got the thing, and then of course I'm sure there's a barcode on the back. The first book out of the gate is J.R. Tolkien, The Lays of Bellerand, or whatever. Again, another cool illustration. And I think most of these are by John Howe, if I'm correct. I might be, yeah, they look like John Howe, not Alan Lee. The Shaping of Middle-earth. Again, we can open it up, but I don't know why I would do that, because there's no illustrations anywhere in them. And then we've got The Lost Road and Other Writings by J.R.R. Tolkien. Another great wraparound cover. So that is our second boxed set. Looks good, and I'm only guessing, but I think it goes right there chronologically. Then we've got these 4. Another box set of 4, again with some dope looking illustrations. That on there, and then of course we've got our barcode. Now this one, we've got what is this one? The Return of the Shadow. Cool painting of Gandalf at the Shire and stuff. We've got The Treason of Isengard. Another great looking book here. I mean, these are great looking books to have on the shelf. I'm just disappointed that there's not much else in them. I'm disappointed that they didn't put illustrations inside. That's my main disappointment. This is the War of the Ring. That's a cool illustration. That's really cool. That's dope. I like that one. And then we've got Sauron Defeated. It looks like Sauron's house is on fire. Somebody lit it on fire. So those are those 4 books. We'll edit most of this out where I'm putting in the books. So then we've got our final collection of 4 books. Again, great looking illustrations. You know, that stuff, and then the barcode we need. And then this is the Morgoth's Ring. Cool looking illustration, Morgoth's Ring. Wraps around, of course, to some cool looking things. Then we have The War of the Jewels. That one's alright. It was alright. And then we've got The Peoples of Middle-earth. And then last, and certainly to be considered least. Usually when I pull out the last book, I'm like, and last, but certainly not to be considered the least. This one I'm like, and last, and most definitely the least is the index. What the? There's a whole book of an index. And literally, you open it up, and it is literally just index. Index of what? I don't have an idea. Probably the other books. Probably all these other books needed an index. They needed an entire books for the index. Who would ever read this? Who would ever read just the index? I mean, that's all it is page after page of index. Not even any illustrations of the index. But we do have a cool cover for the index. It'll stay on my shelf. I mean, I'm not going to burn it like Sauron's tower got burnt in that one photo. Anyway, that is, let's put these back. Let's put these back in the order we got them in. So everything's got to stay in order. Otherwise, I don't know which ones to read. So I think these, the only reason I assumed this was the final box set was because of the index. I guess that's what it's for. That is why they have the index. So we know which book comes last. But look at how dope those look on the shelf. Those look like they are some pretty cool books. Which they mostly are. Anyway, there you go. That's all I have to say about that.